I think one of the most difficult problems artists are facing today is how to create art and post it online consistently. It's really easy to make art all the time, and it's really difficult to both make a lot of art and post a lot on social media, because often social media and growing and crafting a strategy that'll last you for a long time and doing all like the nitpicky analytics stuff is a full-time job, or at least it feels like it. It sucks a lot of energy out of you, and it leaves you with not very much time to actually do the thing that you created your social media account to share, which is painting or whatever kind of art you like to create. So in this video, I'm going to share with you guys what I personally do to meet my artistic goals, paint more, and post consistently on social media. And the first step of this process is to create artistic goals. If you don't have artistic goals yet, artistic goals, at least the way I think of it, is just aspects of your art that you really want to improve. Figure out what aspects of your art you want to improve. The more stuff that you have to work on, the more ideas that you'll have to work from later. So being bad or like not being where you want to be in terms of skill is actually an advantage here, because it gives you a lot of ideas to work on. So for example, one of the things that I really want to work on is painting and drawing faces. I am really bad at this. I have not practiced as much as I should have practiced, but it's one of my long-term goals, you could say, to do this. So sketching faces, figuring out how anatomy works in the head and the body, that's a whole other challenge in and of itself. Mastering skin tone colors, actually painting the face, painting hair, noses, all the features of the face. Those are smaller tasks that contribute to the whole overarching goal of being able to paint faces accurately. The more things that you have to work on and the more detailed you can get with describing these steps, the more you can create with purpose and less you'll have to worry about what to create, because you'll already have this list of things to work on, and the more structured you'll make it. Like, I want to figure out how to paint noses, and you know what you have to paint, it's noses. And it's very straightforward, and you have to think less about painting, and it's more of like working through the list with all of these different items that you have to accomplish. Step 2 is to make every single item on that list a video or an Instagram post, whatever platform you're using, it doesn't matter. But let's say that you want to learn how to paint gouache. One step on your to-do list is to create your palette. Squeeze out your colors onto your palette, swatch them, make a color wheel, figure out how mixing works. That's a video. Second video is to just your first impressions with gouache, try it for the first time. Next is like practice, lighting studies, landscapes, figurative studies, lots of sketchbook pages as practice. Basically, what I want you to do is to figure out your artistic goals, every single step that you need to take to meet those artistic goals, and then to break that down and make it into a piece of content, a video that you can share online. And what this does, or at least what it aims to do, is to help you be more accountable to meet those artistic goals, because you're making it more structured for yourself. You're making it into a piece of content. And personally, I am really good at showing up for everyone else but myself. So friends, a job, YouTube, I'm really good at showing up for those things. But when it comes to like showing up for myself, meeting my own personal goals, meeting my artistic goals, my health goals, my fitness goals, I'm really bad at showing up for those things. So the idea here is that if you make your artistic goal, your personal goal, into like a work-related goal, then you might actually be more likely to achieve it. Incorporating my artistic goals into my content calendar, so I'm continuing to make videos like this one where I'm sharing tips, and I'm posting vlogs as well and stuff like that. But in between those videos, you'll notice that I've been posting videos that are more like painting kind of videos, more of my painting process, more of me branching out a little bit and trying new things. And that's because one of my artistic goals is to try new things, to experiment with other mediums. And so I've broken down that overarching goal of trying new things. I want to do punchy rug making at some point. I've done gouache. I want to do more gouache, more watercolor, all of that stuff, oil pastels. And I've broken all of that down and I've added it into my content calendar. So meeting my artistic goal now is far more structured. I have a very clear plan laid out for me, aka my content calendar. If you're new to the idea of content calendars, I'll link my video about mine above so you can figure out how I set mine up and what I use and all of that. But basically, Every single step in your goal, you add as a piece of content to your content calendar. Then you have a deadline for it. That's, the thing that you have on that specific day in the calendar. And when you have a deadline for it, you're far more likely to actually get it done. At least in my experience, this is applicable for me. But putting it on your content calendar is one thing. The next thing that you need to do is actually block out time in your week to get this done. So I personally like to set aside a whole day, basically, to film, create a video, work on a painting, whatever. I like to set aside a whole chunk of a day to film. But if you work a full-time job, if you have other things on your plate, maybe you just have a few hours to dedicate to it. That's totally fine. But just make it specific, make it really deliberate. The more specific you can have, be like, I am going to film this video at 6 p.m. on Tuesday night, or I am going to work on this painting at 3 p.m. on Wednesday. The more specific that you can get, if you have it in your calendar and you consistently remind yourself, you have a system of keeping yourself accountable, the more likely you're going to be to actually do the thing. And the first few times that you do this, it's going to be difficult to actually motivate yourself. But the more consistent you are, the more pressure, and I mean this in a good way, the more pressure that you'll have to actually keep going. When I first started uploading on YouTube, I went weeks and months in between posting videos, and the more consistent I became, the more consistent I stayed. There was suddenly this pressure as soon as I started posting, week after week after week, to continue posting week after week after week. And when I have to take breaks, be it moving across the country, setting up my new studio, whatever, there's a lot of pressure on me to keep consistent or to not take too long of a break, to not take more of a break than I actually need. And I think that's actually a really good thing. The power of a habit is really strong, and that's basically what you're doing here. You're incorporating creating consistent content for your social media with reaching your artistic goals. You're making that a habit, a joined habit together, because essentially they're now the same task. You are making content, but the content that you are making is you reaching your artistic goals, and that's the whole point. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit of a shorter one than usual, but the studio is still very much in flux, and I hope to create some more exciting content for you guys soon. So anyway, I hope you had a good time. If you're interested in learning more about content calendars, I will post a video right here for you guys. Click on that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.